Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cast of Beyond All Reason. I have heard you, my fans, my audience. I have heard that you do love these 1v1s. I am so happy that you people, enjoy the epic skill-based 1v1 matchups. So I am bringing some more content for you people to enjoy. And I will say this, after my last video, my last 1v1, there was a lot of people in my comment section responding, saying, "What do you mean, you people?" And that just warmed my heart because you guys get the reference. It seems that my community has good taste in movies. So I will say, I hope that you people are ready for another amazing, juicy, greasy 1v1. Sweaty, try-hard match between two players that have absolutely no life. They literally just eat, drink, and sleep and breathe bar. Literally, that's all they do. They've never kissed a woman before. They don't leave their houses. All they do is play this game every day of the week. Oh my God! I bet if Randy or Teddy watch this, they're going to be sending me some angry messages like, "Excuse me, sir, I do have a life. How dare you insult me in this way?" But, you people, I'm ready for an epic match. This is going to be on Ravaged Remake. Let me introduce the map a little bit. This is an interesting map. There's a lot of very sort of unorthodox terrain features that does make the map a little bit difficult to traverse, creates some interesting strategies. And both players going core again. It kills me. It just kills me. In my last video, some of my viewers were saying that the reason people go core is because the AK actually has it's a little better than the Pee-wee, or put differently, the grunt is a little bit better than a pawn in a 1v1. They have a little bit better range if you micro them. And that's the reason. I'm just not sure that's enough of a reason for me. I think having the warrior and the flea more than makes up for that. Slight disadvantage that the pawn may have against the AK. And even if the grunt can outrange the pawn just barely, the pawn DPS is definitely higher. Those EMGs, the EMG is the weapon that both the pawn and the flash use, and those are definitely higher DPS. So I really think this is being overly emphasized. But then again, maybe at this pro level, at the level that these two players are at, maybe it does make a difference. I don't know. I'm just upset because we don't see more ARM representation. There's not enough diversity in this community, and you players need to step it up. I need to see more ARM representation in these 1v1 games. I won't accept it. But either way, as this game starts to get into our first combat moments, Randy is a little bit ahead. Both players starting out pretty normally. Nothing too out of the box. For example, an air start first. You can start air on this map. I have seen people start air. So it wouldn't be completely out of the question to do something like that. But if you do start air, of course, that is a much riskier strategy to begin with. And you need to make sure that if you start air, you have to get a lot of economic damage done, and then you'll generally reclaim your air lab and go into K-bots or vehicles. Somebody in the spectators asking, how long have Randy and Teddy been playing bar? Probably since the beginning, but more importantly, I think both of these players were playing Balanced Annihilation, which is the mod that was the predecessor to this mod, which has been around for at least 10 years, probably closer to 15 years. And I actually just casted an entire tournament of BA. It's very similar to this. It's just that bar has Some differences, but Bar is also has a lot of engine improvements as well, and graphical improvements. There are some differences, but anyway, I did do a large BA tournament with over 3 hours of actual casting time. The video itself is 4 hours, but the actual games constitute about 3 hours of casting, and so you can go check that out. So the point is, Teddy and Randy have been playing BA, the game that preceded this, that this forked off from, for probably at least 5 years, or probably more like 10. And I don't know that for sure, but I'm just going to guess because these two players are very experienced. Someone in one of the spectators saying, "Isn't PTAC one of the best players because he's a developer?" No, actually, PTAC is dog shit. He's a terrible player. And hold that thought, because Randy moving in here, as Teddy has a nice little group of aggravators, or storms if you are an OTA player. This is the core rocket K-bot. And Randy, perhaps in a bit of trouble, doing what he can to halt this aggression. But as I was saying, PTAC is absolutely a horrible player. And an even worse developer, and so I don't know what legends these spectators are referring to, but let's check the player bases here. Both players still in K-bots, nothing, no tech switches yet, so still a very even game. However, Teddy a little bit ahead economically. He's got about 4 more metal, but it's not a massive amount in a 1v1. But no, in all seriousness, guys, PTAC, or Taku is the correct pronunciation. He is one of the best players, and I will say this, guys. There is going to be a bar tournament on April 8th, so here in about 2 weeks, and I will be casting that bar tournament in a very similar style to the cast that I did for the BA tournament. So I will link you guys my Twitch stream, and if you want to come and support me and be there for the live event on April 8th, that would just be awesome. I'd love to have you guys. I'd love to interact with my community. So yeah, and Taku is going to be in that tournament. He told me he's been practicing to be the very best, be the Ash Ketchum of Beyond All Reason. He wants to have all 8 badges and then be the Elite Four, the Final Four. What I can't remember what it. Anyway, Taku wants to be the best. That's all there is to say, and he thinks. I told him that he could be the best. I believe in Taku. But Randy and Teddy, these two players we're watching, will also be in the game. And ZLO from the terrorist clan, the Z clan, he will also be there. Guys, everyone that's anyone will be there. I bet Winter will even be participating in the tournament. So anyway, and look, Teddy's got a crown. You guys see this? Teddy's commander has a crown. That is from the last tournament. So Teddy's commander, Teddy is very good. He's possibly the crown champion right now. But can Randy steal the throne? Because right now he's moving through with a small army of grunts here. But it won't accomplish much. Guys, one thing I will say about Bar as compared to most other RTSs, so if you've ever watched StarCraft, if you've ever watched Age of Empires, if you've ever watched Company of Heroes, it is a unique thing about the TA games that when an attack fails, you leave your opponent corpses, which is metal, and what happens is they can reclaim this metal or resurrect it even and create and basically bring your army back to life to fight for them. And so when you attack in Bar, you need to make sure that your attack does something. You don't want to just give your opponent free metal or corpses to make armies to use against you. But again, a lot of great use of aggravators here. And these will outrange the commander. The missiles are fairly slow and they have no tracking ability. Or so some missiles can track in this game and some can't. These rockets do not track. They are unguided. And you can micro to dodge these because they're a little bit slow. But these are good for this early game sieging. But guys, Teddy is he's not using his metal here. He's power locked or almost power locked, and that's true even though he's built quite a bit of power. And so both players, it's still pretty close, but Randy certainly using his resources better. If you look here at the bottom right, well, if you look at the top of the screen, I'm currently looking at Randy's eco, and so he's maxed out on power. Let's look at Teddy. Yeah, see, look, Teddy, he's got almost a full bar of metal. Guys, you don't want to do that. You want to use your resources. You need to. If you've watched StarCraft, it would be like floating 1,000 crystal. You don't want to do that. You want to use your 1,000 minerals, I guess that's what they call it. That would be really bad. You don't want to float. This is the equivalent to floating a ton of resources in another RTS. You need to use your resources, and right now, because Randy's using them better, he just has more stuff. You can kind of see that represented on the actual battlefield here, just in terms of the sheer amount of units. And additionally, Randy has a lot of stuff over here too, and I don't think Randy knows just how few defenses there are here, as now Teddy having to pull some of his units. But one thing I will say, everybody, if you can see these halos above the head of the grunts, that means the unit has been resurrected. So Teddy probably resurrected these units from Randy, and now using them against him. So Teddy doing a good job of halting this aggression, but already you can see Randy has more of the map. And I've said before, the player that has more of the map generally better off, because that means they will have more resources. Right now, Randy making about 10 more metal per second. And so Teddy is in trouble here as Randy pushes him from every different side. And will that crown on his commander's head save him? Will it give him the edge that he needs to perhaps get back into this game? Because right now it's looking a little dire. Of course, Teddy did just win a nice engagement here in the bottom, and this entire battlefield is littered with juicy corpses that could be reclaimed or resurrected by either player. But here in the middle, Randy's got to be careful. His commander could easily get surrounded and he would lose the game. A couple good D-guns, though. We'll keep him in it. But again, Randy continuing to expand into Teddy's territory, building these light laser towers on the high ground, and they will be able to shoot down and kill these mexes of Teddy's. Let's go ahead and look at the player bases, see if there's anything interesting going on. Okay, there is something interesting. Teddy going into the Shoryuken, the light paralyzer drone. These will paralyze or EMP the enemy units that they touch. And Randy doesn't have a lot of air defense, and so this is another reason that people play core. We do see these paralyzer drones quite a bit, much more than we see the Banshee, the armed gunship, T1 gunship. So these paralyzer drones flying in. If you can see, they're stunning the AKs for several seconds, and this will allow Teddy to move in. And he has stunned all these light laser towers. Very well done by Teddy to use those Shoryukens to create an opening. That was a nice use of these paralyzer drones. So guys, I think that's another reason that people play core. ARM does not get the paralyzer drones. They instead get the T1 gunship, the Banshee. And the Banshee is probably just objectively not as good. It's not that the Banshee is bad, but the paralyzer drone is just more useful more of the time. And now Randy building an HLT, a Warden. The reason he's building this HLT is because they have the same range as the aggravators, and so Teddy will not be able to harass Randy. But yeah, paralyzer. Teddy's still building more paralyzer drones. However, Randy now countering with his own fighters. Guys, fighters are a good counter to the paralyzer drones. They kill them very quickly, and the Paralyzer drones cannot shoot air, and so air is one of the best counters to air in the game. The anti-air fighters are very effective indeed at stopping this, but Teddy very sneakily bringing a single grave robber to resurrect this entire battle, and that's going to give him massive amount of eco. And now look at this army. Just look at the size of Teddy's army. I don't know, this is huge. Can Randy stop this? I don't know, but here we have some Paralyzer drones coming in to make the battle even more lopsided, as several of these aggravators will be stunned. And now Teddy able to move through. Great use of these Paralyzer drones. Randy bringing some fighters in, as you can see, to take these out of the sky. And as I said, guys, the fighters are so effective at killing the Paralyzer drones. Their armor is more or less made of paper, and so it does not take much. Someone in the chat, so one of the spectators, saying the game might last 60 minutes. We will see. Generally, these 1v1s do not last that long. It is very volatile, and oh my god, Teddy going into T2. So going into T2 at 15 minutes in a 1v1, a little bit dangerous. One thing I will say is that T2 is very strong, but it's a bit like expanding in StarCraft. There's a moment of vulnerability, as you have to... you're not building anything else. You're putting all your resources into upgrading, and that will make you vulnerable if your opponent can take advantage of it. But right now, I think Teddy feeling that he's in a desperate situation. As you can see, Randy still has most of the map. It's a bit like this. Teddy only has about a third of it. And Randy 10 metal ahead. So could going T2 actually save Teddy here? I don't know. It's a gambit, but when you are behind, sometimes you need to make these risky decisions to keep yourself in the game. If you're losing a straight up battle with your opponent, you do need to sometimes do something very interesting or unorthodox, something unexpected to. If you're not going to win through just normal engagements, you have to give yourself an advantage somehow. But will it be too little, too late? Randy moving forward with quite a few grunts here. The first Sheldon has made it to the front line, but I don't know. It's looking. It's perhaps looking pretty bad for Teddy. Can T2 actually save him? Randy has a lot of units, but these Pyros, these Fiends I've mentioned in previous casts, they will absolutely roast T1 of any kind, especially the K-bots. They're fast. They're called the fast assault bot, but the Pyro are very well-rounded. It's fast, it's got decent armor, and it even though it's short range, it will absolutely eviscerate or incinerate any K-bot that gets into its way. So once these Fiends make it to the front line, they are going to burn down these aggravators. But Teddy has to be careful, as Randy has attacked up here at the top right. And even though Teddy is on T2, Randy is still way ahead. I don't know. I don't know if going T2 is going to be enough to save Teddy. He's just in such a bad position. But again, these Fiends are quite formidable indeed, and they're very strong against T1. Can it save him? These Fiends doing work here. Moving through, killing some light laser towers, but now getting paralyzed by Randy's blade wings. Or shurikens is what they're called in Bar. Some levelers as well. I have to wonder if these levelers are actually here designed to counter the Fiends. Of course, nothing on T1 really counters Fiends, but levelers or pounders probably the best option that you could build. Maybe if you have enough of them. But Teddy has spotted Randy's commander, and I bet he's going to try to go for a snipe. Look, if you're behind in a 1v1, one way to win is to just snipe your opponent's commander. That is one thing that makes TA or Beyond All Reason special in the RTS world. You don't have to kill your opponent. You don't have to destroy their entire base. All you have to do is kill your commander. And Teddy, with a brilliant maneuver here, he's definitely going to bring these units around. Randy bringing a transport to try to get his commander. He will pick up his commander and fly him out of the danger. Wow, that was crazy. That was crazy. Teddy was almost certainly about to kill him, and Randy, in the nick of time, like watching an action movie, will pick up his commander and fly him out of danger. And with that, Teddy is well, that will be his last ditch effort, as the game will go up in smoke. So that was a really good game by both players. I will say Teddy had some really great strategies. He used the Shoryukens very well, but ultimately it seemed like Randy just had the better map control. And even though Teddy teching to T2 quickly, it did give him a nice advantage. It just wasn't enough for him to secure the game. Randy picking up his commander at the last second was so funny. Very nice for Randy to know what Teddy was going to try, because that was Teddy's real last resort, was killing his opponent's commander and winning that way. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I am excited to cast an entire tournament of 1v1s. There's going to be hundreds of games to cast. So I hope to see you guys there. Like I said, I will announce it in my Discord. I'll actually post the link to my Discord in the description and in the comments if you guys want to come join. And the information about the tournament will be there, and I will be casting it on April 8th. I'm not sure of the time yet, but if you join my Discord, you'll get that information. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next cast.